ready to go. Thank you all for coming here today for this very special occasion here in Perth. The man that I'm about to introduce obviously needs no introduction at all. Sorry we were running a bit late. He was just finishing up a meal. One of you should ask a question about what he eats on a daily basis because we had to organise it. I'll tell you what, it's an enormous amount of food. It's enough to feed a footy team, no doubt about that. So he's just been getting down his last meal before he joins us. So let's make sure we give him a warm round of applause. 5-time Arnold Classic champion, the #1 loved bodybuilder in the world today. Here he is, folks, Mr Kai Greene. I'm going to hand over to Kai. He's going to have the mic. This is how it's going to work. Obviously, Kai's going to take us through the complexities of his training routine, his diet, supplementation, all that type of good stuff. And you in the audience have got the opportunity to ask questions. So we will have a microphone roaming throughout. Once Kai's done an intro and talk through some things, we'll get you to put your hands up when you want to ask questions. And one of our guys will be walking the audience and coming over to see you. So here he is again, Kai Greene. Yeah.
Everybody. I said hello, everybody.
Hey.
Is everybody with me? Everybody wake up yet? All right, good, because I just woke up. I feel really good though. I was sitting in the back. Felt like a good idea at the time. Anyway, thank you, all of you, for coming out today. I know that there's a lot of other places you could have otherwise have chosen to have been, but you were gracious enough to come here today with us. So give yourselves a hand. Just 1 or 2 things. You know what? I think it's really important to say that I think people do things because of an idea that we all have in common. And I believe that that idea is increase. So I think that when we commit ourselves to doing something, to being at a certain place, at a certain time, we do it because we believe that there is something for us to gain by being there. Does that make sense? I think that thing that we have in common is the idea of increase. And I think that it's really important to recognize that because as an intelligent person, it makes sense that anywhere you choose to be, it is with the idea of gaining something that will help you on your journey. So my goal in this moment is not to waste your time, but to aim to speak to that idea of increase. Does that make sense? Increase. Touch your neighbor and say increase. Increase. No, you don't know it just yet? Okay, well hold on to that then, because we'll get a little warmer. And in a little while, you may be a lot more inclined to think so. The idea of increase is what we have in common. It's the thing that compels us to be encouraged or inspired when we hear someone else's story of triumph. Increase. It's that idea of possibility that says, wow, you know what? If they were able to do something really cool by doing that thing, well, maybe I can, and I'm willing to try. Increase. Increase is the thing that I believe brings us together on this day, in this room, at this time. Increase. And I believe it's our ideas of hello. Yes, that's that way of saying, move on, hurry up. Get off that idea. But this idea is important. Increase. It was the idea of increase that inspired me to want to work and recognize that my work would not be in vain if I worked out with the goal of improving my physique. Increase. If I do something and I labor long, in time it will produce a desired end result. Increase. I believe that if you are not working with that idea of increase at the beginning or midpoint and end of your effort, then you may otherwise be wasting your time. Does that make sense? And I think time is our most precious virtue. It's our most precious asset. Because if you ask anyone that had millions and millions of dollars and all the wealth on the planet, but they lie there on their deathbed, if you ask what they wanted most, in that moment, the thing they would tell you is time. So in an effort not to waste our time and to be working under that idea of increase, I'm going to try to share some things with you from my personal experience today that may do one thing, if only one thing. The most important thing that I'd like to do today is to help you on your journey to increase. Yes? If you're with me, say yeah. Yeah. Everybody saying yeah with me, or is there some people that aren't saying yeah just yet? I'm just curious. I don't know. So everybody say yeah. Let's say yeah. Yeah. Again, let's say yeah. Say yeah. All right, so we're all together. Good, we're in one accord. All right, first thing I want to throw at you in the idea of increase is recognizing our personal power. Why is that important? Because no one will be any more influential in your life than the person that you see in the mirror in the morning. And it's important to understand that, because we live in a day and age where people will think that they will ask you the question that's going to give them the secret that will empower them to make their biceps bigger and their chest stronger and their legs bigger. Tell me, give me the secret. This is an important place to start. You are powerful, even when in the most abject situations and circumstances in your life. You still have the power to make choices. And if you have that, you have power. Increase. Personal power. Touch your neighbor and say personal power.
Personal power.
Still too early for that? Okay. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay. One day I was asked to come and speak someplace. And I was real nervous about doing it because I just not too long before that finished competing in a really big competition. And as I prepared for that competition, I expected to walk away from that competition with all these trophies and plaques and medals around my neck. It was the medals around my neck that I identified as making me a champion. With the medal around my neck, I thought the declaration to the world would be that I am a champion. So obviously, when I walked away from that experience, from that very big competition, and I didn't walk away with the honors that I expected, with the medals that I had hoped for, I questioned, what was I? Because a champion, I didn't know that I had the right to say that. But as I entered the room now, in this place where I was asked to come and speak, before I could get to the stage, people started saying, the champ is here. And I thought, okay, well, that was kind of cool the first time they said, maybe they didn't really know. All right, well, you know, I'll just keep walking and eventually the moment will pass and it'll be over. But then it didn't. And then someone else said the champ is here. And I thought, okay, well, in a minute now, that'll pass and I'll be able to kind of sneak in through the back. But before I knew it, other people started saying the champion was here. And then the whole room collectively started beating on chairs saying, the champ is here, the champ is here. Somebody started playing on a loudspeaker. It was like a beat with a beatbox. And next thing you know, the champ is here was this resounding chant throughout the whole room. As I heard it, it became like this giant roar that was overwhelming for me. I became afraid. Everywhere I looked, I didn't know where that champion was. And I was hoping they weren't expecting him to have come with me. I entered the room, and people continued to say that. I took the stage, and they handed me a microphone, and they said, Kai, speak. The champ is here. I realized they were talking about me, but as I reached inside myself and looked around, I realized I had nothing to say. Couldn't a champion speak from my lips? Why? Because I wasn't clear. I couldn't remember. I thought that I was not a champion. Why? Because doesn't a champion have medals? Doesn't a champion have huge trophies and things that speak in declaration to the world that he is a champion? And I didn't have that. And I questioned that. I stood up to speak, but before I could, Testing. Hello, we're back. All right. The words just like that wouldn't come out of my mouth. Thank you. That was a really cool cue, because that's kind of what it felt like in that moment. I wanted to speak, but the words wouldn't come out. I found myself reaching deeper and deeper inside with this question, well, what is a champion? What is a champion? So when I opened my mouth again, it came. Would you like to hear what fell out? It said, I am a champion because I recognize that achievement is the product of hard work and right thinking. I am a champion. I looked to my right and realized, wow, it was kind of feeling a little bit better, bubbled up a little bit more, and it continued to come out. My mouth. Want to hear what else it said? It said, I am a champion because I know that achievement is not the product of pedigree. It's not the product of someone passing it down to you. Being a champion is a product of being able to decide with power. I am a champion. Wow, I kind of felt a little bit more convinced. And then as I reached a little bit deeper, I turned to my right and I looked over in the other part of the audience and something else came out. It's like a spirit, all on its own. It said, I am a champion because I am willing to take every resource available to me. Yes, you didn't know that entertainment came along. Thank you, sir. All right. How's that? Can you hear me now? Good. Now see, let's see, where was I? Oh yes, I'm a champion because I am willing to take any and every opportunity available to me, every resource, and turn it into an opportunity to achieve the goals that I'm working to achieve. I am a champion, I am a champion, I am a champion. Before I knew it, it had jumped out of my mouth, over my teeth, and out into the audience. And now it was there. I couldn't take it back. It was in the middle of the room for everyone to see. And I already said it. It was already out. I couldn't take it back. So I wondered, was that true? Was it right? Was I recognizing the responsibility of the increase that we were all supposed to be connected to in that room? I stand here today in front of all of you and say, yes. For me, that is the secret. The most important thing that I can tell or share with anyone in this room today, for the aspiring champion, professional bodybuilder, athlete coming up in whatever discipline they're training toward, or the person that's outside of that whole experience altogether, but looking to accomplish and overcome challenges that they have set before them in their own life. Being a champion is about recognizing your personal power and responsibility to decide who you will be and what you will do with this opportunity that is called your life. Now, somebody may see you today as an athlete and say, hey, you accomplished some things. That's really pretty cool about that. Hey man, can you tell me a way to help improve maybe my training? Can you give me a secret? And without talking about sets, and without talking about reps, and without talking about all the other minutiae, I'm cutting right to the chase and giving you the core, the best that I have to offer. Really the truth that a person is asking for when they ask for the secret. Without having to ask a whole lot of questions, I'm laying it out for you right here in the middle of this room, right on the foot of this stage. Recognizing that it's your responsibility to decide what you are going to do with your personal power, how you will use it, what you will and won't do. It's up to you. And sometimes we look for this validation from someone else. We look for the validation from our friends. We look for the validation from our loved ones. You know, my girlfriend, I wish she would support me. Man, you know what? I'd have been somebody really special if my father would have been a dad. You know, hey man, you know what? I would have been really successful if maybe I would have had the kind of family support. Or hey man, you know what? I would have gotten ready for that show last year, but you know what? My job, if I would have had the financial support, I could have done it. I could have overcome those challenges. And the truth is, man, the power is yours all along. So, it starts with recognizing that you are the champion. I am who I say I am. And in that moment, as I opened up, when I was confused about that, when I kind of forgotten that, sometimes you have to check yourself. And I try to give you an example of that in that opening.